Hi, this is Eric Martin, Report Game Geek. I'm here with Moritz Brunhoff from Hans & Glück.
Hi.
Looking at Majesty for the round by Marc-Andre of Splendor fame. And I already heard this described as Splendor Killer.
Well, actually,
I don't know if he would want to kill his own game.
No, I read it too, and someone made the comment like, "Well, why should we kill Splendor? Let this game alive." So, but I know what they want to say about it.
It is very much a Marc-Andre game.
Yeah,
I played this in April. Yeah. You had a copy. It was still not final.
Demo,
but you knew it was him, just from the style of play.
Even if it's different from Splendor, but it's very basic, like very direct actions.
Yes,
you don't
minimal.
Minimal, exactly.
Minimal actions, and then they pile up over time, and then things happen.
And it's always positive. Like you cannot go wrong. Actually, well, you can go better than the others, but it's like that makes it super family-wise. Also, like whenever it's super simple. You have to take a card out of the supply here, and there's always 6 cards: the top one and the last one, first one, last one.
Yep.
And then you have some. Usually, you have some meeple on your supply, and you can use them to distract the others. So you get another card instead of the one. The first one is always for free, and if you don't want it, like we know that from Small World and other concepts, but if you take it, you can take this card. And when you take a card, you immediately you immediately have to place it where it belongs, and all the characters always belong to one of the buildings in your kingdom.
That's right. Although you have a choice with some.
Exactly. Super important for the game that you, because the game is basically 12 times cards drafting.
Right.
It's that's a principle of the game, and for drafting you need choices.
Yes.
So these are super important to have choices, as well as the meeples. I'll come to that in a second. So you have to take a card, and you put the card where it belongs, and then you're following from top to bottom what the card says, and that's what you get. And you always get victory points / money. Money is the coins, and surprisingly, who has the most coins in the end wins. Yeah, very unique system, I know. We never heard this probably here. Anyway, but it's super easy and intuitive. As I said, you put the card here, you follow from top to down, and usually it says per card you get something. In this case, I get 5 coins and the meeple.
Okay.
But if I play a second card, and we just heard it's per card, so how much do I get now?
10.
And?
2 meeples.
Correct. Yay.
Okay.
So it piles up. You're interested in finding one card, which makes your decision different here. And also, but probably you're piling up the princess, for example. So maybe I want to disturb you and I want to take away that from you. Or
you've got your own things you can do.
Exactly, I have my own things I can do. So I'm always between these choices. And then there's a big final scoring, not that big, but 2 different ones. One is for majority of each card, and the other one is for having different ones. So again, you're in a dilemma if I want to collect for different cards or for one. So it's all about the choices here.
That's right. Well, ideally, of course, you're always just pipping the other person. I want to be just ahead of you so I can maximize my spread.
Well, if you know the game a little bit better, then there's a little bit deeper choices here in this row, because basically there's always 6 cards open for information, and the maximum amount of helpers someone has is 5. So they can always get all the cards if you are full, but then you're out of meeple. So let's say, for example, you take this card, but then you put a lot of meeple into the system without having some left for yourself, or you will get some, but not that many. So I can calculate on that. So for example, if it's there, I might give you a trap and say, well, I don't take this card, but I'll take another one. So you will put up some meeple here, but actually I took this card first, and then I wanted to have this card with even more meeple.
Yep.
So because then I can put it here again and have a second one here with an extra meeple instead of just taking that one for free. So there's some details later on if you know the game a little bit better. And of course, the last players, like 2 players, is pretty strategic. And 4 players a little bit more random, because there are 3 cards taken out of the supply until it's your turn again.
Okay.
A new one showing up, but still fun.
And you mentioned it was all positive.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Well, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, there is an attack system. That's true. Like there's soldiers and there's guards. There are guards. When a player plays a soldier, he has to attack everybody else, and we check at the other ones if they are guarded by a guard.
Yes.
And in case like they have the same amount, at least the same amount of guards, they're safe. If they have less, they are attacked. Thanks. And attacked means you have the first card in your row from the left, exactly, wounded. So you take it, flip it around, and put it in the infirmary. So bad because you're losing your multiplier, bad because you're losing everything for the final scoring, but you can solve this problem. There's the witch, right? And the witch is a good witch in this case. Still is good, but maybe let's see what's coming in expansions or whatever. But so the good witch heals the top card of your infirmary, like the wounded card. You can always watch it then. And so you take it back. It's there. It's not activated, so it's not getting you points immediately. But then you score for other parts. You have it again, which is the most important.
You have a shield to protect more valuable cards down the line.
Exactly. Yeah, because they're getting a little bit more valuable later on. Okay. Small thing is also that if you have, let's pretend there's a card in the row with a couple of meeples on it, and so we always have 6 cards, you know. But let's have this example here, whatever. So. Here's a card with a couple of meeple on it. If I take that, I will have too many meeple in my supply than I can hold, no matter what kind of card I take. And at the end of my turn, I have to give them away, and they earn a little bit of money for me, and I get 1 coin for each of my meeple. So this doesn't sound a lot, but it changes the value of the cards. Like for me, this card is worth 3 more points.
Right.
While you don't have any meeple, so for you it's helping you for being better in the next turn. But for me, 3 extra points. So it's not only the card, which we all know has the same value for each player, but they change the value of the cards for everyone, which is super important for the game to have a replayability as well as the double-sided. So these are some tweaks we made to have a higher replayability, and
There's also the other double-sided.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, like all the cards have a B side, and you can play on the B side. We heavily recommend to play at least 3 times the A side to get a feeling about the game, because it's not the game by itself which is changing, but the worth of the cards. So you start to know, okay, a brewer is like this and this. It's valuable in the beginning or whatever you think, you know.
Right.
But then you switch to the B side and everything changed. So the value is just like different from the beginning or to the end of the game, whatever.
Yeah.
You can also mix and match completely, but we don't. We say we will not support this by rule questions because it's super messy, and we made one thing. For example, you see, you get a meeple on a castle as well as on the brewery.
Right.
And even if you turn into the B side, at both you'll get a meeple. So no matter how much you mix and match it, you will always have 2 cards supplying you with meeple, which is important to keep the game flow.
Okay. Yeah, because of course you remove them from the game as well if you max out and you're just throwing them away.
Yeah, exactly. Like for example, I take you put them in a system, but I'll take them and throw them away. So you have to have a chance to get some back.
Right. All right. Thank you, Moritz, for
Sure.
a review of Majesty.
Thank you.
So